This is a new era in America, and I think it goes against the ilk of who we are as Americans and our faith in the criminal justice system. In the end, this jury of ordinary people from Delaware were not intimidated by that family, and they recognized that this was a clear-cut case and that clearly no one's above the law.
This is a very political exercise, and you have to say that it accomplished what it set out to accomplish. But I would say this about Judge Noreka. I think she ran a very fair courtroom. She ran a very fair trial.
I'm extremely proud of my son, Hunter. He has overcome an addiction. I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
I want to talk about Larry Hogan. And what is it they call him? Rule of law Republicans? Right.
Senate candidate, Maryland's Larry Hogan, who has condemned and in fact still condemns Trump's behavior.
You're nothing but a cock-blocking machine. I don't know what you are. You're like the Israeli Iron Dome defense system, but with vaginas instead of missiles. What? You're like some sort of cock-blocking Terminator sent back from the future to cock-block humans. The robot should have sent you instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger. You could have cock-blocked John Connor's parents and he never would have been born.
Larry Hogan responded to the unexpected endorsement by saying that he is still not going to vote for Donald Trump.
Larry Hogan says that the American people should respect the jury's verdict in New York. Imagine that.
President Trump, when he was in office, he underwent testing for his cognitive dissonance.
I don't like flies.
So he's gone.
America loves President Trump because he's plain spoken.
I do like junk food.
Easy to understand.
Chairman, you're sitting on a wild pony. You gotta pull that pony. You gotta get it going.
And he is clear as a bell.
In my second term, we will roll back every Biden attack on the Second Amendment.
While that message resonates with the true believers, Donald Trump brought a decidedly different tone when he made a triumphant return to Capitol Hill this week, his first since before the January 6th attack more than 3 years ago. Republican leaders once condemned Trump for his behavior on that day and the days before. They are applauding him, embracing him. Even Mitch McConnell. Take a look at this awkward handshake. That's the first time the two men interacted since December 15th, 2020. That's the day McConnell congratulated Joe Biden and Kamala Harris on winning an election that Donald Trump will never acknowledge he lost. For Trump's part, he came to Capitol Hill without the talk of retribution and revenge that has defined his 2024 campaign.
Mother Teresa could not beat these charges.
Because he did it, because he did the crimes. But so his move, and the move for all those who suckle at his considerable teeth now, is to claim this whole deal.
These charges are rigged.
I guess we all need, to shop at Banana Republic from now on? Because that's what it feels like. Yeah, a Banana Republic.
For years, the Bidens have been able to escape any legal accountability for their sleazy, corrupt conduct. But today, their luck ran out. At least Hunter's did.
Mother Teresa has been dead for 27 years now. Thanks to the corrupt New York Attorney General.
These people have jumped the shark.
Power is all they love. And they're willing to do anything to cling to it. They're willing to destroy the rule of law. The Republic has been wounded by weak lawyers and talentless political bloodhounds. It gave me a little boost of confidence in the American legal system, although they still have a lot of work to do to win me back.
I believe that there was a conscious collusion of allies that came together. It's pretty obvious, with a private strategy to eliminate a common shared adversary. Hunter's going to jail, so Joe doesn't have to. And when he comes out, he'll be rewarded for his loyalty, like a made man in a Biden crime family. This is a distraction from the influence peddling and the kickbacks.
I'm just proud of the toughest person I've ever met in my entire life for having the backbone and fortitude to go through this whole mess, as uncomfortable as it's been. And I'm proud to have stood there every single second by his side in that freezing cold courtroom. He's an inspiration to me every single day, and he'll be vindicated.
What happened? What happened to? What happened to? There's no black America. There's no white America. There is just America. This is a man with a big heart who loves people, all people. From the top to the bottom, from the middle to the side, Islamic extremist terrorism. You know who you are.
Mother Teresa.
We are giving them the money. Are we crazy?
You are.
These people have jumped the shark. It's over. And y'all know it.
Anyone can talk about defending freedom, but I've actually put everything on the line to resist these despots and these stuff. DeRoy wrote, Donald J. Trump will address the Libertarian Party at its national convention on Saturday. The Libertarian Party should nominate Trump for President of the United States. Whoa. That's nice.
Are you concerned that that was paid for to manipulate the American people in the lead up to an election?
Isn't that closer to the mandate than Michael Cohen?
Why isn't that?
Having something
Where's Mueller on that, sir?
Having something to do with paying some Stormy Daniels woman $130,000? I mean, which is going to turn out to be perfectly legal. That money was not campaign money. Sorry, I'm giving you a fact now that you don't know. It's not campaign money. No campaign finance violation. So
they funneled it through the law firm.
Funneled through the law firm, and the president repaid it.
The new Reuters Ipswich poll says that 56% of the American people believe that Trump got a fair trial. 56%. What do you think that means for the election?
They funneled it through the law firm.
Funneled through the law firm, and the president repaid it.
Oh, I didn't know he did.
Yep.
Kirk says the Democrats will use the conviction to claim that the system is fair. Vivek Ramaswamy, he calls it a smokescreen to deflect attention from Biden's other crimes. Republican Senator Tom Cotton says it's a way to insulate Joe Biden, who is guilty of corruption. Trump's campaign calls the case a distraction from the, quote, Biden crime family.
Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina. Senator Scott, thank you very much for being with us this morning. I want to...
Those J6 warriors, they were warriors, but they were really more than anything else. They're victims of what happened. All they were doing is protesting a rigged election.
But let me say simply, John, the greatest threat to democracy today is Joe Biden. It started back when he became president. We've seen a wide open, insecure, unsafe southern border with sleeper cells likely in our country, over 100,000 Chinese nationals crossing our southern border, men from Yemen, Iraq, and Afghanistan now populating our country. Senator, the 10 million illegal immigrant invasion.
Hell, 10% of Republican voters said in the poll that they are less likely to vote for Donald Trump now that he's been convicted of 34 felonies. Math's a bitch.
And the next decision to certify the fact that Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States, November 5th, the day of reckoning, is coming. The early ballots go out in places like North Carolina starting in September. We're going to focus on making sure that we use every tool in the toolkit to make sure that this election results are clear and profound, and that the American people get 4 more years of low unemployment, low inflation, high enthusiasm, and a president respected and sometimes feared on the global stage. That president.
He didn't know about the specifics of it, as far as I know. But he did know about the general arrangement that Michael would take care of things like this, like I take care of things like this for my clients.
That's your defense? Michael Cohen paid off a porn star for his client. We all do that. That's first day of law school stuff.
It's going to disappear. One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
Sean Hannity is the only guy who would say, "Dear God, what have I done?" when what he has done is journalism.
But reality is not something that Trump wants anybody to point to.
Disinfectant by injection, almost a cleaning.
His only hope is for the Republicans to march sleeping all the way to Election Day.
Our Mexican neighbors to the south, murderers, thugs, and rapists.
From kicking trans people out of the military with a tweet to calling African countries shitholes.
I love the poorly educated.
And soldiers that died for America suckers and losers. He's responsible.
So all Rudy had to do was make sure he didn't bring up the campaign.
However, imagine if that came out on October 15th, 2016, in the middle of the last debate with Hillary Clinton.
So during the campaign, Rudy, what is wrong with you? You just made the prosecutor's case for them. The feds were probably watching that interview and saying,
"We're coming to get you!"
Imagine a world where a Democrat that was the nominee for the President of the United States was a convicted felon. I wonder what side the Republicans would come down.
I don't think somebody with President Trump's income level actually maybe writes all his checks. You know what I mean? It would not surprise me if yes, he authorized a payment and, it just gets kind of lost in the shuffle. I know that sounds crazy, perhaps, on a certain level.
From the Paris Climate Accords, and since then, we've had the hottest years in the history of history!
The reality is, Republicans are full of shit, and I think quite a few Republicans realize that.
He told racists and white supremacists to stand down and stand by. He then sent a mob to kill Nancy Pelosi and the vice president on January 6th.
Whereas I would compare it to a proctology appointment.
well, that makes sense because Trump is definitely pulling his out of his ass.
They'll probably still vote, just like they did last time, for Republicans all the way down the ticket. But not at the top, because there still are some Republicans who have integrity. I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal. W.
Mentally unsound. You actually heard this man ask for votes to overthrow an election in Georgia and won't face it. Who's deranged?
Top to the bottom, from the middle to the side.
Maybe there's not. I think there might be. Hey, like and subscribe. I need people to subscribe. It's very important. It helps me out.
Fuck that guy and his fucking YouTube videos. Stop listening to a man who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, you idiots!
Just click that subscribe button.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't negotiate, let's investigate. We'll accelerate and we're taking him down.